Hi. It's kind of getting my finger here. Anyway, welcome YouTube. This is a brief, I hope, rant on Paladins. Now, let's look at Paladins briefly. If we were to find archetypal Paladin or prototypical Paladin, let's say, a character from literature, history, what have you, I suppose we would have to look at primarily Lancelot du Lac of the Arthurian legend. Although any one of the Arthurian Grail Knights, Sir Gawain, and so on, would be also good examples of paladins, of these essentially holy knights that were lawful good characters who embodied everything that is good, that is best in men, to quote. They are righteous of spirit, strong of arm, and clear of mind. These are these people these particular men, as best examples, who are the epitome of martial prowess and religious fervor. And what we learn from them is that essentially we have knights who are both dedicated to their own physical presence as well as their religious piety. This in itself doesn't seem like a problem, but as we examine later editions of Dungeons & Dragons, which is essentially what I'm looking at here today, the problem is that looking at from 3.0 and beyond, well, 3.0 primarily, there is really no purpose for there to be a paladin class. The paladin is essentially a holy warrior who embodies his faith and goes out and, smites evil, goes out and challenges wrongs to right the evil in the world. And the thing about this is that, well, in the first place, you would think that the only religions that a paladin would be a viable option for would be lawful good religions. And honestly, why doesn't a neutral good or a chaotic good, or even a chaotic evil good, a chaotic evil religion have the option of creating a paladin? I know there's options in various games for the Blackguard or the Anti-Paladin. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know what the basis for the Paladin is, which is, like, once again, sort of the Lancelot du Lac character, the Grail Knight, the lawful good, pure, chaste, super knight. And I don't think there's really enough emphasis in most of the versions of D&D on the knight, short of first edition's Cavalier and the sort of paladin character in the other editions, to say that this character is special. But the thing is, okay, so there's a character class for a very specific follower of a God who is lawful good to be embodied by these specific extraordinary powers. However, I don't think that I really don't believe that after 3.0 there's a necessity for the Paladin at all. I think that he essentially is something that could be easily explained with certain feats or turned into a prestige class, because the Paladin has all the powers of a fighter plus several extraordinary abilities granted to him of a cleric. So I don't see why you wouldn't just take a fighter, give him certain X number of ranks of religion, plus maybe a bonus feat in consecrate weapon, or you know, whatever, one or two feats that you want to create, such as like specialized weapon, or just a feat in something like religious piety, for example, and make that the character, make that the sort of requirements to go up to, say, at 5th or 6th level, a character who is also a Paladin. I don't think the Paladin is itself a very good class, because I think it takes things away from the cleric. I think it takes things from the fighter that could just easily be added onto the fighter with one or two feats and make him also a fighter and a Paladin. Once again, I understand the historical perspective, the historical and the fictional perspective, but I don't believe that it's necessary for the game to maintain at any level beyond 3rd edition. And even at 3rd edition, I believe that it's not the most desirable of characters. I think I'd much rather be playing either a holy cleric with certain fighter abilities or a fighter with certain holy abilities than playing a cleric. Or sorry, I mean playing a paladin. I would much rather have the title paladin than the class paladin. And that's something that should probably be looked at, or should probably have been looked at prior to the most recent editions. Now, as far as 5th edition, I'm not entirely sure what classes, races, skills, anything are available, because I haven't bought into it. And honestly, I don't intend to buy into this newest edition for the 6 months or so, and not just to see how well it sells, but I don't intend to buy into this essentially, though I do very much hope that it succeeds and it does well. But I'm not putting my money down, because, for one thing, I've got active games running of 4th edition, no, sorry, not 4th edition D&D, 3.5 edition D&D, 2nd edition D&D, Hackmaster, GURPS, and there's at least one other system that are, off the top of my head, it eludes me, that are other games that I have going on. So I intend to continue on with a few of them before I have the need to go out and plop down another $25 to $60 on a player's handbook. Though, once again, just from what I've seen of the 5th edition, aka Next, it really does seem like they're doing the right thing. It does seem like they're putting their best foot forward and trying to make this a game that both the old school gamers and the people that were big fans of 4th edition, who I hated 4th edition, but I don't have anything against the fans of 4th edition. I think that if there's some middle ground they can reach, first off, they're geniuses for doing it, and second, they're good, best luck to them for trying it, because I really do want to see Dungeons and Dragons as an IP, as an intellectual property, succeed. But I don't want to see it be done from the point of view of Watts or from Hasbro, from a a big company. I don't want to see Hasbro or WotC succeed. I want to see the people that are really fans and the people that are really into making this game succeed. The people that are creators, editors, authors. I want to see those people succeed. I want to see so bad Dungeons and Dragons come into like this new millennium as a real property, as a real contender in people's imaginations, and in a form of gaming that's sort of been dismissed in recent years, come back into fruition. That said, I wish the best of luck to these people, and I really do want to see how these turn out. But for the very, very limited purpose of the synopsis, I'm just talking about Paladins in general. And if you do have any, if anybody should watch this, yeah, and if anybody should, and you have thoughts on Paladins, please, talk up, because I've been looking for a few sounding boards on this. Like, explain to me how this is a viable character at this point in time, how this is a viable character that we should still have available as a character class rather than as a prestige, or rather as just a lesser character class that exists for other people to either aspire to being a higher one, or just sort of a different kind of character class that people would be interested in morphing into. My name is Sean Kelly. I am posting and hope to hold this on my website for some time. This video. Thank you, and good day.